guys, Lucky13 here with War Creek Airsoft. Today we're going to be painting the APS Hakkotsu M40A3. We're going to be painting it something a little bit like this. This is ATACS foliage green. So we're going to try to get this as close as possible. That way it doesn't stick out so bad. Of course, I will still probably be wrapping it in burlap and such, you know. It's just for an urban environment also with your field environment. So you'll never know what you'll have. And I'm going to go ahead and get started on it. As you can see, I've taped off all the necessities like the hop-up unit, the mag well, the trigger. I didn't tape off the trigger guard because I didn't think it was necessary. I did tape off the number system here for my scope, which is a 3x12x15. It is upside down. I did not tape this part off. I will tape this off before I begin painting. I taped off the safety, and I taped off the cheek riser and the buttstock pad because it has a little cool stuff on it. So it's going to be basically all the black part here that you see, excluding the chrome colored stuff. Like I said, I'm going to tape that off, but all this black is going to be as close as I can get to foliage green as I possibly can. So, like I said, it's not going to be perfect, but I'm going to, Jesus, this camera. Anyhow, I'm going to try to get as close as possible. What the hell? Alright, so I'll be back, and I got to figure this out. Okay, guys, some things you may need. I picked up a, it's a, what the hell's this thing called? A sea sponge. Picked up this 2-in-1 sea sponge at Walmart. I went back to the paint aisle. All they had was a roller, and it cost like $11. So I decided not to go that route. And I was just curious. I asked the guy. He said he didn't have any more in the store whatsoever, blah, blah, blah. Well, I went to the bath area where they have the body soap and shampoo and all that good stuff. And what do you know? They have 2-in-1. It costed like $3. And I was like, wow, I'll take that. So you'll need one of those. You'll need some masking tape. Please do not skimp on the masking tape. I have a roll of blue painter's tape somewhere. I couldn't find it, but this is the worst freaking tape in the world. If it gets mildly warm, it won't stick, not even to itself, really. It's terrible. And of course, if you're dealing with the grease or the silicone spray that you put on your weapons, it will not stick to that either. And you'll need some sort of acetone or alcohol or something to remove it. Also, you'll need to cut out some patterns. This is for closeness and fading. So you'll be aiming towards these holes whenever you go to spray paint. You'll need an X-Acto knife or something close to a box cutter or something to make these cuts, and also to trim up on the masking tape. I prefer using some kind of painter's tray or something, but these styrofoam plates work just as fine. Paper plates work just as fine. So also, the 4 colors I'll be painting today, I do have some black, but the 4 colors I'll be painting today is like a dark earth brown, earthy tone. I don't know, it's kind of an OD green, kinda, I'm not really for sure. It's kind of a mix between a brown and a green, so we'll go with OD green. We got some light green and some beigeish tan for those brighter colors. So these are the 4 colors I'm going with. I do have some black that I'll be using just to touch up, you know, to throw in some shade in that. Also, following that, excuse me, I'm a little sick right now. But following that, you'll need some larger stencils. These are just random patterns to go with your smaller patterns. So you'll have to have 2 sets just so you can stack the colors. If you can see, like there's a large pattern that runs along here, and then you have your smaller patterns that run inside of it. And then I'll be taking this soap sponge, or not soap sponge, well, I guess whatever, sea sponge, and I'll be dabbing it in the paint on the foam plates, and I'll be trying to get just the itty bitty stuff. Alright guys, as you can see, I have my first base coat down. It is tan, and I'm sure a lot of you are asking, why did you leave the scope on there, dude? Well, basically, if you take the scope off and paint it separately, you're going to get a completely different, ununiformed pattern if you do that. And I know a lot of people are like, well, it doesn't really matter about the uniform, but let's say, for instance, I have a big, nice green blob that goes halfway up the side of the rifle. Well, if it stops where the scope's at, it's going to look a little weird to me. I like to have everything kind of uniformed, still kind of at a random pattern, but still in a uniform manner. So I'm just going to keep the scope on there because it's already too late, obviously. All of this will be black, the buttstock will be black, and the trigger will be black. Now I did manage to tape off the action here on the inside where yeah. So we'll go with that. And I got the scope taped off, all that good stuff, got the end of the barrel taped off, and we'll go ahead and get to step number 2. Alright guys, and I got the second little bit of spray on here. As you can see, it's kind of leopard printy looking. And right now you can't really tell it's even in there a whole lot, other than it's just random spots, and that's fine. What I'm doing is a little bit more. I'm just trying to get some base down to where I can make it start making it all blend in. Alright guys, we'll go on to the third coat so that we can get this all finished. Alright guys, so you can see it's starting to take shape a little bit. It's getting a little more depth color in it. I'm going to try to do away with a lot of this tan, but I had to have a base color, so the tan was the best option. I don't live in a deserty environment, however tan is in the ATACS FG, which is essential because it's the base color, so that's why it looks so tan. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and apply some dark earth brown, and maybe it'll make this change up a little bit. And then I'll get to the seafoam sponge and just try to show you a little bit how to blend that in. Alright guys, so here is close to finished product. Now, I knew I was going for the ATACS FG, but it looks more like a Marpat mixed with ATACS. And you know, it's not really too bad. At least it's well camouflaged. It's got green, brown, tan, light green, you know. It's got a few, it'll be hard to detect, in other words. The only thing that's going to give it away is when I peel this tape here off and the tape down the back side. It's going to be black. Those parts are just going to be completely black. So this is some of the sponge I tore up. This part I didn't use. And it's got these nice little holes in it. And it just kind of, it doesn't really touch every part. That's the good part about this sponge. It doesn't touch everything, so it kind of spreads it out, but it's still in a uniform shape, you know. So if you touch it, it might touch from up there all the way down around, but it's not everything. So it gives you a little speckle of a looking paint job, and that's what I like about it. So again, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a like, thumbs up there, and if you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to hopefully be bringing some gameplay videos here soon. I'm going to go ahead and get myself some kind of camera to take in the field with me so I can get some footage. Now, unfortunately, I'll probably just be starting out with one camera, so you won't be getting a lot of angles, like of myself, and then the gun, and then, you know, scope and all that. So it's going to be a rough start. But I'm going to be building a small outside, I guess you'd call it like arena or something. I'm not really sure what you're going to call it, but it'd be big enough for maybe 10 on 10 or something. But that's going to be coming in the spring. I'm hoping to go up to a local airsoft. It's here in West Virginia. They have it's Bravo. It's M2 Bravo airsoft. It's all indoor. I probably won't have much use for the sniper rifle there, but the field that I'm going to be working on, I will be having use for that here, for this there. So we'll go with that. Alright guys, so this is the sniper rifle, and I'm going to take a couple more pictures once it's all nice and dry and stuff, and you know, I'm going to set it out in the yard and just kind of let you guys decide, you know, if it's a good blend or if it just sucks. Well, you know, it all depends on what region of the world you live in, depends on your camouflage. Alright guys, until next time, remember it's Lucky 13 with War Creek Airsoft.